I recently had the opportunity to interview Greg from My Weight Loss Life. Greg has had an amazing transformation on both keto and carnivore, losing over 100 pounds. So, without further ado, here's the interview. All right, Greg, welcome to my channel. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, first of all, and then tell us how you got started with keto and then transferring all the way over to carnivore?
How you doing tonight, Brian?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Well, let me kind of tell you a little bit about myself. I'm from Iowa, northern Iowa, actually a town called Mason City. Population about 27,000. It's right smack dab in the center of Iowa in the northern part of it. And I was born and raised in this area and been pretty much here my whole life. And life's been good to me. I have three kids. They're all kind of grown now and been married for 27 years, actually 28 years. Whoops. The wife better not be listening. She'll give me a hard time about that. But yeah, life's been pretty good. It's one of those things, Brian. I was a big guy, a big kid, and I was 80 pounds in kindergarten and 110 in first grade. And I even remember those. I think in eighth grade, I was 227 pounds, biggest kid on the football team, type of thing. But life treated me well. And I even played a little college football. I played a year at the community college. We went to a bowl game and we lost, but that was a good experience too. Met a lot of good people. It was a lot of fun. My kids are, I have two kids that graduated from Iowa State, and my son now is at Iowa State here in his sophomore year. So, like I said, life is pretty good. As far as my weight loss journey goes and kind of my story a little bit, back in September of last year, it kind of hit me before that, but I was having a lot of problems with arthritis pain in my back, my hips, my knees, my ankles. And it was getting very hard for me to move around, and let alone I was almost 400 pounds. That made a huge difference in my life. And it's one of those things. I was a hotel general manager, and I could not walk at night when I was at home. It's just one of those things. I had to travel a little ways to the job and then getting home. And it's not like I was on my feet all day either. It's just everything caught up to me. And I walked away from that job not knowing what I was going to do, basically meaning I was looking at applying for disability. Not sure if I could work again. And it kind of took me a while at the end of last year to figure out, well, what am I going to do? And lo and behold, it's January. And my wife, she decided in December to do some intermittent fasting. And here it is, like the second week of January, and she comes and tells me I've lost 15 pounds. And it just kind of shocked me because here I'm the one that needs to lose weight. And I didn't consider her to be overweight or really need to lose any weight. And it kind of woke me up, and I said, I got to do something. I can't keep going like this. And really, like I said, in come to January, I really thought I was going to be disabled the rest of my life, Brian. That's how bad I was. I mean, I'd have to hold my hand up and have my wife help lift me out of the chair. I was in so much pain and just very big. Most of it was pain reasons, though. Plus, just like I said, being overweight, I wasn't comfortable, and that was very hard for me. So I decided to go on a low carb. First, I think I called it low carb, but I used my manager to kind of track carb manager to kind of track my food and look at it, and then I realized, well, I'm more keto than I am low carb. And at first I was pretty lenient on some of the stuff I ate. I ate the junky keto products that you see on the market or stuff that's labeled keto friendly. Well, lo and behold, I mean, I did lose weight eating them, but I realized how unhealthy it was. And basically, I decided to, as I went along in the diet, I sharpened my foods as far as what I was eating, and I clamped down a little bit. My carb number is more like 20 grams or less on keto, and it served me well. 2 months in, I lost 35 pounds. 5 months in, I lost 70 pounds doing keto. And then I even experimented, did a little bit of carnivore for like a week and a half. And then I was doing carnivore like every other day type of thing just to see, I like the idea of bringing that carb number down. And that really helped do that. And lo and behold, I hit I think it was my 7 month mark? Yeah, 7 months. I was 85 pounds down. and that was basically all keto. And I kind of got stuck, I would say, and that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to try carnivore and see what happens. So at 85 pounds, I decided to do carnivore, and in just 4 weeks' time, I lost like 19 pounds. And next thing you know, I've lost 100 pounds in 8 months and a week. And I tell you what, it's changed my life, Brian. I was, my arthritis pain is went pretty much away. There's still a little stiffness and stuff, but it's one of those that helped greatly. I mean, don't get me wrong, keto helped me too, but I still had more pain. So, that's where carnivore stepped in and really helped turn the pain down for me. Now I'm just more stiff, but I've only been on carnivore 5 weeks now, and I'm still down just the 19 pounds. Last couple weeks have been a little flat, but that didn't surprise me because the first week of carnivore I lost like 9.2 pounds. The next week it was a little lighter at 3 something, and then that third week I lost 6 pounds, that blew my mind away because I didn't know where that came from being 3 weeks in, but to lose 19 pounds in 3 weeks, I was like, wow. But like I said, the last couple of weeks I've been a little flat, so I really haven't done much with that. But that's okay. I mean, my body always kind of loses weight in chunks, anyways. So it's kind of one of those things that it's okay. I mean, I'll drop again because it just works that way for me, for sure.
Now, have you been doing exercise with that, or is it all just your diet?
Most early on, it was all diet just because I wasn't very mobile. I wasn't able to do much. And I would say that first 80 to 85 pounds was with no exercise. Just by diet alone and changing my ways of eating changed everything for me. But what happened is I ended up doing some physical therapy, and I count that as exercise because I started going 3 times a week, and I'd usually go for an hour. And they put me through all these exercises just to help with my mobility, my back, strengthening my core. And I just completed that here after, I want to say it was 6 weeks, maybe 7 that I went. And I graduated, and they're really happy with my results. And I definitely got stronger, and now I'm walking and doing more other physical activity, and I plan to do more of that going forward. I'll probably do more weight training too, especially going into winter. Here in Iowa, it's kind of hard to do stuff outside other than shoveling in the winter time. So don't get me wrong, though, that's a great workout too. But there's only so much of that. But I'll be definitely going to the gym a little bit more and focusing on some of that. Not so much the weight training though, probably more the cardio for me. In the past, when I've lost weight, if I started lifting a lot of weights, I would usually not drop any weight. So I think I was just putting on muscle. So I'll still do some cardio. I'll do a little bit of weights, but it's not like when I was younger and I really tried to build muscle and look good for the ladies.
Yeah. All right. So tell us a little bit about what a typical day of eating is like for you.
I usually do 2 meals a day, Brian. Usually I like to do at lunchtime, I'll do a breakfast usually. Usually involves eggs and bacon or eggs and sausage, but sometimes it's 4 eggs, sometimes it's five. Usually bacon, three, 4 strips. If it's sausage, little links, I'll do 5 of those. Sometimes I will just do eggs, a little bit of eggs, maybe just a little dab of cheese on there. I don't go crazy on cheese, but I will put some cheese on my eggs a little bit, as treat it more like a condiment. I also like to use butter in that too. I think that helps get your fat content up there. Plus, it makes the eggs taste great. So, I found that as I ate more eggs like every day, I tend to lose weight. If I didn't eat eggs at noon, I wouldn't lose weight. So that's kind of what I do at noon. Sometimes I would fast a little bit. Maybe I just have like one hard boiled egg as a little snack in the afternoon early, and a couple strips of bacon. I'd call that good, call that a snack. And then, come supper time, I definitely have some kind of meat. Obviously, I like steak pretty well, but I do not have it every day. There's days I wish I could, but then there's days that I do like to mix it up. I'll have chicken, and I use some more. I'll cook that in some bacon grease, add some butter to it, or I'll do pork chops. I do that once in a while. I will do it like a tuna steak, and definitely try to fatten it up with some more butter. Do some things there to help, but I do like the variety a little bit. Plus, I do think there's a lot of different vitamins in those other kinds of meats that I think are important to you too. Now, I know my doctor, he recommended if I do carnivore, I should try to do at least some organ meat once a week. Now, I have not been doing that. I've been having, I'll have liver maybe once every couple of weeks, and that's about it. That's the only organ meat I usually have. But I know there's people that eat it regularly, not me. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think you eat the organ meat, if I remember right.
Yeah, I do not.
Yeah.
So
Yep. So it's just one of those things, it's not my favorite thing. Usually I usually cook it with onions and then I don't eat the onions, or I will put a little bit of mustard on there. I probably shouldn't, but I will. It does change the taste of it where it's a little more tolerable for me. So, or I'll cut it up and put it in like with an egg bowl. That kind of helps too. Put it in with some ground beef or some bacon or sausage. That kind of helps with it too.
I was gonna say that's a really good variety of different types of meats and so forth. Do you have a preference of like a certain type of meat that you like the most?
I've been eating New York strips lately, but I've kind of decided. Don't get me wrong, I like my ribeyes too once in a while. I like New York strip pretty well. I prefer to eat the sirloin. There's a little bit more work to eating it, but I do like it a little bit better. It's probably not as fat, but that's where you make sure you use that butter, cook it in the bacon grease. That helps. But lately, I mean, they had a deal on New York strips, so I kind of loaded up on those. Last night I had two, and they were 8 ounces. They were really good, and it was tasty. And I'm ready for those again because I got three more in the fridge ready to go. So I'll probably have those the next night or two, for sure.
So where do you do most of your shopping for your meat?
I do quite a bit at Aldi. Most people I know I think though they're about all over the United States now for the most part, I think. But I do shop there for items. Lately I've bought a little bit more of their meat and I actually haven't minded it. It's been pretty good. We have a store called Hy-Vee. I go there and buy meat when it's on sale. We also have a Fairway. They're kind of big in Iowa. They have a really nice full service meat counter, so you can go in and look at the meat counter, pick out what you want, and they'll wrap it up for you. That's kind of nice too. I probably don't go there enough to be honest. And then there's also there's a local butcher nearby too. And the thing is, Brian, I mean, I think if I haven't worked for a while, but once I start working again and making some money, I will probably go to a local farmer and buy like a quarter or a half at a time. I think that's the way to go and put it in your freezer. One, you support your local farmers, but two, you know what's in the meat, which anymore is getting to be a big deal nowadays because they're putting more and more stuff in the meat, injecting them, and I don't care for that. I want the meat I eat to be natural. So I guess I'm going to be doing more of that going forward, I believe.
So you talked a little bit about using butter and bacon fat. Do you use anything else like lard? Have you tried that or anything
I've
else?
not tried that. That's a good idea though, because I know back in the day, lard was used in a lot of cooking, and it actually does a pretty good job. And something I'd definitely like to try down the road. Like I said, that's one of those things that I think all the grandparents that we had probably and their parents used lard all the time in cooking. So probably not a bad thing to get back to.
So I know from watching some of your videos that you like to grill out a lot as well. So tell us a little bit about the different ways that you cook the food that you eat. So I know that there's grilling, and then what's the other ways that you normally will cook your food?
Yeah, I do use a couple things. I have a Blackstone griddle. It's like a 36-inch griddle top, and I've had that for like 3 years now. I really like that. One, it heats up pretty quick, and you can cook food really pretty fast on it. Plus, you can cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner on it. I mean, literally, because you can cook your eggs. I love mine for bacon because I can throw 2 packages of bacon on there. I cook it; it doesn't take that long, and we consume what we can, and the rest goes in a plastic bag with some paper towel. It goes in the fridge, and then you treat it like beef jerky. If you get hungry, you want a snack, you grab a slice of bacon. Usually in a couple days, it's all gone anyways. So we usually go through. I think my wife and I usually go through 4 packages of bacon a week, sometimes six. Just depends on what we're eating or how hungry we are, I guess. But I like having it around as a snack. I would say it's probably my secret weapon when it comes to snacks. I think I even did a video on that. one, it takes care of any sweet tooth that you may have that comes up. It really takes care of that, and it's very satisfying. I think, obviously, I think the salt content in that really helps. I know, a lot of people sometimes will take a pinch of Redmond salt, put it under their tongue, that type of thing to help them get through those little urges that you have for something sweet. That works pretty well. But I like bacon a lot, so I cook that on the griddle all the time. I'll cook steaks on there, burgers. If you weren't doing keto or carnivore, yeah, you could make chicken fried rice. You could do the whole 9 yards on that griddle. That's a really nice thing. But I also have a charcoal grill which I use, and I like to smoke my meat on that. I'll do pulled pork. I'll do pork butts on that to do pulled pork. That turns out really well. I'll do ribs on there. Sometimes I will sear a steak on the charcoal grill and then finish it on the griddle. That's another way to get some of that charcoal taste in there. Plus, with throwing it on the griddle, you can have a little bit more control over when the steak is going to be done. A little bit easier to measure that. So I like to do that too. So I wish I could have more grills and griddles and type of things because I don't know, I just love cooking outside. It's going to kill me here coming up now that the weather's getting colder, and eventually when the snow's out, I probably won't be out grilling too often. I'll take it as far as I can though. If I get into December and we don't have snow, I'll be out there. But once you get into that, yeah, it's a little bit different. But Thanksgiving will be a little bit different for me this year. Usually I fry a deep fried bird, and I'm still going to do that, but I'm also going to smoke a turkey and try that just because I've never done it. And we usually feed like 18 people. So we end up doing like a 20-pound bird, and then we do another couple of turkey breasts. And I'll do something like that, I'm sure, in the smoker and try that. Should be good though. I enjoy the outside cooking is the best. It goes quick and doesn't stink up the house, and it's just, I don't know, it's just really good. Making
All
your
right.
mouth water, aren't I?
Oh yeah, it's making me hungry. Making me think about Thanksgiving too, because I have no
Yeah,
idea
it's
what I'm
coming
gonna
up
do for
quick.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like thinking like, okay, I guess I'm gonna eat turkey. I mean, turkey. I don't know.
Yeah, you
We'll
could
figure
have
that
ham.
out.
You could have some ham too, though. That definitely there's some
Yeah,
options. That sounds like a good idea for our low carb football party is to talk about Thanksgiving feast.
yeah, it is. As we get closer, we're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, it's not far away though.
But yeah, I guess you're right. It's like a month, right? Yeah, it's about a
Yeah, a
month.
little over a month.
Yeah. All right. So your weight loss is incredible. Um,
Thank you.
let's talk about the non-scale victory portion though, because that's huge. And I know you've had some tremendous results with your measurements. So it's not really measuring yourself on the scale, but your actual measurements of your body, right? So tell us a little bit about those measurements that you've seen.
Yeah, you're right, Brian. And it's easy for me to talk about the weight after dropping 100 pounds. But to be honest, the non scale victories are far outweigh the measurement on the scale, I would say. We'll go ahead and start with measurements just so you kind of get an idea. But, not only did I lose 100 pounds, but I lost 29 and a quarter inches off my body, which is an incredible amount when you think about it. Now, just to kind of give you an idea, that's your neck, your waist, your bicep, your forearm, your calf, your thigh. I think that's about it. That's those measurements. I wish I measured my belly. I couldn't imagine. I bet that was a foot off my belly I lost. I wouldn't be surprised. I never measured that, but it wasn't also on the app either. I don't think that really counts. But my waist was 8 inches. My chest, I lost 7 inches. If I remember right, calf was like an inch and a half, forearm was 2 inches, bicep was like an inch and a quarter, roughly, if I remember right. And neck was like an inch and a half. So it really adds up. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, it's a surprise, but I'm so glad I took measurements at the beginning. Just so I'd have that now and can go back and compare to, because sometimes the scale isn't always friendly with us and we aren't losing, but at the same time we can be losing inches, and that's why it's so important to measure, because your body could still be changing shape and size. And I'll say that the last couple weeks, my scale really hasn't went down, but I feel like my clothes are looser. for sure. So I wouldn't be surprised if I'm losing more inches. So I think it's important that people remember to do that. And let alone the measurements. 29 and a quarter inches is pretty amazing. I hope to continue to. I'd still like to lose another 50 pounds at least. I'll go as low as I can. I saw my doctor today and I asked him, how low do you think I can go? He kind of had a puzzled look on his face, like, well, I'm not sure how to answer that, but he threw out the number 200. Now I don't know if I could make it to 200. We'll see, but I think I'd be pretty. I don't know if I'd even be comfortable at that weight, just because I haven't been that weight for since probably fifth grade. It'd be a long time, and I'm 51 years old, so that kind of gives you an idea. But I was thinking if I could get down to 230, originally my goal was 250, but I think I'll push the envelope and see if I can't get down to 225 again. That's probably my weight right out of college after playing football. I kind of slimmed down a little bit, and that was where, of course, that was on the standard American diet. I was at 225, couldn't really lose anymore. So we'll see what happens. But I have a feeling it's going to take me a little longer to lose the next amount of weight after losing that 100 pounds. But we'll see what happens. I'll take it 1 pound at a one day at. I always like to say 1 day at a time, 1 pound at a time. And that's how you got to approach this, I guess. Looking at that, but as far as other non-scale victories, I'd say, Brian, I found out today I was pre-diabetic before a year ago at this time, and I'm no longer that. So that's a good thing. Um, so lots of my numbers for my blood work improved, and I haven't really had the time to analyze them. I just got them today, but I'll be doing a episode on that coming up. But I know my cholesterol has actually went down, being on a keto carnivore diet, so it's actually lower than last year. So that's a good thing. And I'm eating a lot of fatty foods now, so for me that it's worked for me. So it may not do that for everybody, but for me it did. So I'm sure losing the 100 pounds helped.
Let's talk a little bit then about the arthritis. You were talking about that pain, and then you said it got better with keto, but then it seemed to get even better with doing carnivore. So let's talk a little bit about that, if you can.
Yeah, I would say, I still had some stiffness and stuff I've been working through when I was on keto. And that's one of the reasons why I guess I decided I'm going to try carnivore, because I know you had pretty good luck with that. And I know there's many others by doing carnivore diet. They said their arthritis pain was going away. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. And I would say the first week I could tell a little bit of a difference. The second week I noticed. Now, the only thing I'll say is I still have some arthritis, but at the same time, I'm combating weather. It's getting colder in Iowa, so which tends to make people's arthritis flare up. So it's kind of hard to gauge it yet. It's still pretty early, but I do know that I'm able to move around so much better, and it's at least 50 to 70% better on carnivore, I would say, for the arthritis pain. So, and stiffness. So, I mean, it's improved greatly. It's not perfect yet. But once again, I've only been on it 5 weeks, and we'll see what happens. But I plan on continuing with carnivore for a while, especially after seeing my numbers come back for my blood work. My doctor has no problem with me continuing doing what I'm doing. So I'm pretty excited that he's supporting me and in my corner on that. So it feels pretty good.
Yeah, that's great to have a doctor that is going to support you on your diet. So
Yep. And I told him today, I thanked him for supporting me and backing me. And I told him, use my story all you want to help other people. Because he knew where I was at in January, with being overweight and having so much pain. And I was disabled in January. And that's what I told him today. I was disabled in January, but I'm not anymore. And that's a big deal. It's life changing stuff. And if somebody's out there watching this thinking about going on a plan, you really need to consider it, because it is life changing stuff. There's no doubt about it. So, and the thing is, if I can do this, anybody can do it. And that's the way I feel about it. You don't have to bust your butt in the gym. If you're able to and can physically go to the gym and work out, I think that's an added bonus. I can't imagine how much weight I could have lost had I been able to walk this whole time and do some exercise. I think I would have lost it probably even quicker or even faster. But it worked out the way it did, and I'm grateful for that. And I feel like God's given me a new life, a second chance, and I'm not going to blow it this time. That's for sure.
So you talked about the story, and this brings me to something that I know you've got to be pretty proud of. Newsweek reached out to you just,
Hmm.
I guess it was a few weeks ago, and they ran into one of your videos and wanted to, based on that video, they wanted to run a story about you. And this is great because this helps to show other people, that are having the issues that you had, how they don't have to just live with it. Like they can change things with their diet. So tell us a little bit about the whole Newsweek thing.
Yeah, it was one of those things. I was really surprised because on my videos I kind of put on there, "Let's connect," and I have my email address right in the description so people can see it easily. Um, and the editor reached out to me and just said, "Hey, would you be interested in being on our Newsweek My Turn section?" And I looked it over because I wanted to see if it was legit. The email was legit because you just don't know about scammers and stuff. So I got to look at him like, yeah, he's an editor. Yeah, I took a look at the My Turn section. Yeah, there's a bunch of articles on here. And I said, yeah. And what they did is they saw my video. I lost 85 pounds, no exercise, no drugs, no surgeries was the title of the video. They saw that and they thought it was interesting. And so what they did, ideally it can be an essay that you write and send in to them. But they just said, well, we'll write it up for you and you can proofread it and send it back. And basically, I think they used AI to write the article. You could just kind of tell. But if I had wrote it from my heart, the writing would have been a lot different than what it turned out, but it was still a good thing. I mean, the article turned out fine. There's some things I would have changed, but I just didn't put a lot of time into that part of it. But overall, the message was still spot on, and it encourages people that, hey, you can make changes in your life just by changing your diet, and you can lose weight even without exercising. I have living proof that you could do it. So, needless to say, that hit, I think, the first week of October. And I definitely got a bump because they linked my YouTube channel to it, and that really helped grow my channel. But I know that, people are still out there seeing that article, and hopefully it helps someone that maybe is looking to change their life. And, I hope it can inspire them and give them some hope. And that's the big thing I've been hearing from some people is I'm giving them hope, or they didn't think it could be done. I'm like, to be honest, it wasn't really that hard. I know it sounds funny because people say, well, it's hard. It's like, well, not when you're eating the right foods. The proper human diet is a big deal. And if you're doing it right, you can be successful and lose weight. And, going back to some of what you said earlier too with how I got there, and I think the key is you can't be afraid to make adjustments to your plan. And I continually I don't want to say trick my body, but I continually challenge my body with the diet. I didn't want to stay stuck for long. I would change things up. Just like I said, I did a little carnivore for a week and a half. Also did it where every other day I do carnivore. I kept my body guessing as to what was going on, and I really think that helped me lose the weight. Also, another thing I would say, Brian, I wasn't afraid to throw in a cheat meal if I needed to. Sometimes when I was doing keto, if I was a little sluggish on losing the weight, I would cheat for one meal, not go crazy, but maybe enough to have my body take notice, and then all of a sudden I'd start dropping weight again. And I think what it did was reset my metabolism. So once again, it's kind of one of those things. It's my weight loss journey, but I wanted to keep plugging away and see what would work because everybody's body is a little bit different, and you have to figure out what that is. And once you find out what works for you, you keep repeating the cycle until all of a sudden you aren't losing weight again, and then okay, time to change it up again. That's just like me jumping from keto to carnivore because I was kind of stuck again in that little spot. I'm like, okay, time to change it up again. Just like going forward, I'll probably change it up again just because I want my body to adjust and make changes, and hopefully the scale will continue to drop and all the other health benefits that come with it.
So you talked about the YouTube channel. So let's talk about that a little bit now. How long have you had the channel, and what is your main message that you like to do with the channel?
The YouTube channel is kind of fun. I like to, if you want to have some fun, you go to my YouTube channel and you look at some of the first videos that I did, and they were back in October, November of last year. one, you'll get to see what I looked like when I was struggling. And it was what it was is I was called the review guy. I was a review channel. I was reviewing food products of all things, candy bars, you name it. So if you want a good chuckle, go back and take a look at that, Brian, because you'll be like, wow. You know, but it's one of those things as I got into the weight loss plan in, January, February, I started, I did a lot of food items. Well, then I started doing keto food items. And pretty soon I was realizing, this whole food gig isn't going to work out, doing reviews on that because I've totally changed my life and what I was doing. So then I decided I'm going to make this my weight loss life. So I changed the name of the channel and I just kept going with it. I knew I'd lose a few subs from what I had, but I've gained way more than I lost. And I think the message, was one of those things that people seen I was changing my life. And that's what I wanted it to be, is something to inspire other people. I make these videos it's not for myself. I really want to just share my life with others and see that, what, they may be going through some of the same stuff that I'm going through. And it's like, you can lose weight and change your life too. You're not alone in the journey. And, hopefully the whole thing was to be able to inspire other people, and I think I'm starting to do that, and that makes me feel pretty good because that's what it's about for me, Brian, helping others.
All right. And again, that YouTube channel is My Weight Loss Life. So it's at My Weight Loss Life.
Yep.
And a link to that will be in the description of this interview.
Yep, you can. I also have an Instagram channel as well, and that handles, obviously go to Instagram, but it's at my.weightloss.life. It's a little bit different. You had a couple dots in there, but over there, I like to share different pictures. I like to put a little music to my pictures too. Just kind of fun thing I like to do. It's just a little bit different over there, but it's all good. I enjoy it and it's fun. And that channel's been growing too. I think I'm up over, is it 600? I don't know. It's like 600 followers there. So that's been growing too, but it's kind of fun. You see a lot of inspiring stories on there as well. So,
All right. So last thing here, I'm done with questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give the mic to you and let you talk to the audience. So talk to my audience here about whatever it is that you want to talk to them that really inspires you and so forth. So it's all yours.
all right. Sounds good. I better grab a drink of water before I start on this one. First off, I just want to say, you're following a good channel. Brian is a great man. He puts out great content. I know he puts a lot of work into his stuff. And I think most of you probably know that me and Brian are pretty much partners in crime when it comes to Thursday nights and doing the low carb football party. And we hope to do more stuff even after football season. But like I said, you're following a good guy. He's going to be honest with you and upfront with you. You can't ask for a better guy. So I'm proud to call Brian my friend and look forward to working with him going forward on anything that we do. So as far as my channel, I know some of you maybe have not been there, but I've been a part-time life coach for, I want to say 12 years, 13 years now. And I like to just help other people. That's something that's always been in my nature. And I try to incorporate a lot of that into my videos, a lot of encouragement. Just like I said, I really want to inspire, encourage other people to be successful, no matter what they're doing in life. We all get hung up from time to time, or we face difficult times in life. And, some of you people that are watching this that follow me know that I've been going through a lot with my mom right now because she is at the end of her life, and I've been kind of taking care of her, but yet I've still been able to lose all this weight. I've pretty much been staying relatively stress-free considering all that's going on. And I can't complain about that. Life is good. And, I know sometimes life can be tough, but continue to push through, and if you're in a storm, you'll get through it. That happens in life, and we all face storms at different times in our life, sometimes multiple storms. But I just want to encourage you, you keep plugging away. You'll come out of the storm. Never give up, never quit. That's one of my favorite sayings on my channel is work the plan, adjust the plan, but never quit. And that's kind of my motto when it comes to this type of lifestyle and eating. And it really should be for about anything in life, to be honest. You're never going to quit. No matter how tough life can be, never quit. You can't give up. you just got to change your plan a little bit and make some adjustments, and you'll get the results you're looking for. And I think that applies to life, let alone the weight loss and your other health benefits that you get from that. But as far as my channel goes, like I said, I usually put out 3-4 videos a week. I do interviews just like this one on my channel as well. I like to bring people on and just introduce them to my family that's on my channel, and I bring on good quality people that tell their story and hopefully inspire others, and that makes it fun, let alone all the other fun stuff I like to do, and try to just bring different perspective, bring the mental thing. And, that's the one thing I'll add too is, not only are you maybe on a weight loss health journey, but it's also a mental journey as well. There has to be some mental health that goes along with that. You're not the same person you once were. Maybe someone hurt you in the past. We have to learn to let go of some of that so we can move on in our life and not be chained down and held down from stuff that happened in the past. I think that's one of the keys too to losing weight and keeping it off, is being able to forgive people that maybe hurt you. Maybe you need to forgive yourself for hurting others. I mean, that happens. I tend to think people hurt people. So, we have to be forgiving of other people that hurt us, and move on in our life so we can be successful and do a lot of amazing things. So don't let anything hold you back in life, I guess. I encourage you, check out my channel if you get a chance. Go over there and take a look, see if it's something you like, and give me a like and a sub if you could. That'd be greatly appreciated. But like I said, this guy over here, Brian, he's a good man. Keep following along and supporting him. Make sure you hit the likes on his videos. That'll help him out a lot. Share his videos. He brings a lot of great knowledge, and he really goes in depth on a lot of things, and I can really appreciate that. Brian's probably my favorite channel out of all the channels I have. It's not just because he's my partner in crime, but he tackles a lot of issues, and he's very down to earth, good guy. So thank you, Brian. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you for coming in for the interview today. And, it's been a great interview. I look forward to the next time we get to talk. Let's also not forget Thursdays, we got the low carb football
Yeah.
party. So, check us out on Thursdays as well. That airs on both of our channels every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Central time. So thank you again, Greg, for being on. And I look forward to speaking with you again real soon.
Hey, sounds good, Brian. Thanks again. And I appreciate everybody for watching this tonight, and thank you. And we'll see you soon.